Everyone, welcome to Keyboard Forms Study Circle. Today I will discuss about next class 2 in medical devices and rules in 2017 important schedules. So upcoming examination in drug inspectors in medical devices, it's very helpful in the section in schedules. So let's start the today section. So mainly think medical devices rules in 2017 schedules. So schedules, what is the helpful of medical devices in 2017 rules? What follows in medical devices in schedules? How to helpful in medical devices in 2017 medical devices rules? And how to regulatory requirements of manufacturing and how to importing? It's a follows in medical devices rules in 2017. So 2017 schedules. So how many schedules in medical devices rules in 2007 follows? Totally totally 8 schedules. How many? 8 schedules follows in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, so schedules, it's a main typical refers to the schedule M3. M3 means manufacturing of in medical devices. You can refer the jurisprudence means law of pharmacy. So schedule M3, what is the schedule M? Manufacturing of. Okay, so sub schedule in manufacturing M3 is the schedules for medical devices. Okay, so manufacturing M3 M3 schedule follows in medical devices rules in 2017. So which outline regulatory requirements for manufacturing or importing and distributing and medical devices in India, all over India. These schedules detail everything from quality management systems, and fifth schedules are required documents, and fourth schedules the classification of devices by risk, and first schedule and fees and structure. It is the other countries such as the US Food and Drug Administration. So follows in United States of Food and so US Food and Drug Administration follows in FDDA Food US Food and Drug Administration FDA also uses a system of classification and general controls that functions as a type of schedule for regulating medical devices. Okay, so key schedules on India under medical devices rules in 2017. How many schedules in India under MDR? Totally 8 schedules. Okay, 8 schedules follows in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, so it's a other countries follows in same pattern. US, I mean US food food and drug administration, FDA, US FDA, Food and Drug Administration. Okay, so this is the system. It's a very classification of general controls that functions a type of schedule and regulating of the medical devices. Okay, so totally how many schedules are present? Totally 8 schedules. Okay, so start the one by one medical devices in first schedule and second schedule, a third schedule, fourth or fifth, sixth, seventh. Totally 8 schedules are deeply discussed to in this section. Okay, so Okay. Schedule 1. What is the schedule 1? So schedule 1, parameters for classification of medical devices and in vitro diagnostic medical devices. In vitro diagnostic medical devices. Okay, it is a defines the parameters of from classifying medical devices and in vitro diagnostic in medical device based on risk or low to high. Risk in low to high. So what follows in medical devices in schedule 1? First schedule, it is the in vitro diagnostic in IVD and medical device based on risk. You can measurement of the risk are low. You can follows in first schedule in medical devices 2017 rules as. Okay. Next one, schedule 2. What is the schedule 2? So schedule 2 is the fees payable for license, permission and registration of certificate. What follows in schedule 2 in medical devices rules in 2017? Fees payable for license and permission and registration certificate. You can approval for license. 2 follows in if we have any ready to medical devices and pay the feasible and license permission after get manufacturing in medical devices, and you can must and should be the registration of certificate. Okay, so follows in second schedule as medical devices in 2017 rules. Okay, this is the schedule 2, second schedule. Next one, third schedule. So third schedule is documents required from for registration notified body. Documents required from notified body. So it is a duties and functions. So third schedule, it is a very helpful in medical devices in rules in 2017. It's a what type of duties and how to functioning and handle in medical devices in 2017. So which schedule follows in document required for registration notified body in third schedule follows. Okay, this is called as third schedule. Next one, fourth schedule. So fourth schedule, it is a list of the documents. What purpose of fourth schedule in medical devices? Lists the documents required to obtain a license for manufacturing and selling or importing medical devices. Importing medical devices. So documents required and grant license, manufacture for sale of distribution and import. So this purpose in fourth schedule functioning in medical devices 2017 rules follows. Okay, so fourth schedule follows in 4 parts. How many parts? Divided in 4 parts. Okay, part 1. What is the part 1? Power of attorney. Okay, power of attorney. So power of attorney. And next one, part 2 is requirements of documents for class A, class B and class C and class D in devices. So medical devices in separate classes and divided in totally 4 classes. What are they? Class A or class B or class C or class D. So class A is a different medical devices. For example, class A belongs to some of medical devices and cardio relatively, and class B is a respiratory, and class C is the like thermometer and sphygmometer. So Class D is the X-ray and scanning. So this is the follows in medical devices, totally class A, B, C, D in devices and requirements of documents. Okay, this is the part 2. Next one, part 3. In part 3 divided in 3 parts in 4th schedule. So 4th schedule, how many parts divided in 4 parts? Okay, so part 3 already, part 1 and part 2 already discussed, and part 3, what is the part 3 in 4th schedule? Divided in 3 parts. Part 3 divided in again 3 parts. Okay, so appendix 1, part 3 divided in 3 parts. Appendix 1 is contents of site of plant master file, PMF. So appendix 2 is the contents device master file, DMS. Okay, appendix 3 contains DMF and IVD. So DMF is device master file, and IVD in vitro diagnostic in vitro devices. Okay, so appendix, what follows in appendix 1? Contents of, so what follows in 4th schedules in appendix 1? PMF and plant master file, and appendix 2, what follows in appendix 2? Device master file, and appendix 3, what follows in medical devices rules, and DMF and IVD. DMF as a device master file, and IVD in vitro diagnostics. Okay, in vitro diagnostic in vitro devices, it is the follows in appendix 3. This is the schedule 4 in subdivided in part 3 in divided in 3 parts, totally 3 parts. Okay, finally fourth schedule in part 4. Okay, so what is the part 1 is? Part 1 is the power of part 1 divided in 2 parts, 1, 2. Okay, next schedule 4 in part 3. Part 3 is appendix 1, appendix 2, appendix 3. Okay, finally appendix 4, part 4 is 4th schedule in part 4, information required for import and manufacture in medical devices which does not predict devices. So it is a helpful of part 4 and part 3, part 2 and part 1. This is the fourth schedule. Okay, fourth schedule divided in how many parts? 4 parts. Okay, part 1 is power of veterinary, and part 2 is the requirements of documents, and for the class A, see, class A, class B, class C, class D devices follows, and part 3 divided in subdivided in part 3 in schedule 4, totally 3 appendix. One is the PMF, and appendix 2 is the DMS, and appendix 3 is the DMF and IVD in vitro devices. Okay, and part 4 is the fourth schedule. What is the fourth schedule in part 4? Information required for import manufacturing, import or export, only for import and medical device which does not have predict devices. Okay, this is called as the fourth schedule in medical devices rules and follows in these functions. Okay, next one, fifth schedule. So fifth schedule is the fifth schedule, it is a mainly important of the QMS. What is the standards for QMS? Quality management system. Okay, quality management system. So you can simply follows in fifth schedule in medical devices in 2017 rules specifies the requirements for the quality management system that as a manufacturer must implement for all stages from design and manufacture to servicing. So you can fifth schedule follows in, you can manufacture of if any medical devices, you can quality, you can proper quality in checking in are high or low, and any 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 disadvantages you can fifth schedule follows in quality management system. So you can get ready sphygmometry, it's a blood pressure instrument. You can manufacture the, you can manufacturing in sphygmometry in blood pressure. So this is the medical devices, this is the medical devices. You can proper check the, you can proper check the that instrument are use or no use, and any side effects, I mean any disadvantages, to check proper the follows in fifth schedule in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, so quality management for manufacturing in medical devices, in vitro diagnostic in medical devices. Okay, next point, quality management system specified requirements in quality management system shall be used by the manufacturing of the design. So medical device you can sphygmometry and another instrument electrocardiography, and what instrument of the design and manufacturing we can proper fifth schedules in follows in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, next point, development, manufacturing, packing, labeling, testing. So manufacturing of medical devices and medical devices of in vitro diagnostics, and another one design and packing and labeling and testing. And so this is the all you can manufacturing of a medical devices, you can get follows in mainly important quality management system. What is the first one as manufacturing quality management system? It's a mainly observe in quality, next one design, and next one packing, labeling and testing. Okay, installation and servicing medical devices in vitro diagnostics, it's a more preferred to the in vitro diagnostics in quality checking the QMS. It's a very helpful in fifth schedules in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, clear? So this is the fifth schedule follows in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, what is the sixth schedule in medical devices? Sixth schedule, post approval changes and major and minor changes, major and minor changes. So you come from sixth schedule follows in outlines the process for managing the post approval changes to a medical device, changes to a medical devices. Okay, it's a post approval major or minor changes. Medical device you can the instrument like some of advantages and disadvantages, and major minor changes you can change the follows in sixth schedule follows in medical devices rules. Okay, So it is the main functioning is major minor changes in sixth schedule follows in medical devices 2017 rules. Okay, this is the sixth schedule. Next one, seventh schedule. So seventh schedule details the requirements for obtaining permission to import or manufacturing and investigational medical devices for clinical trials. What purpose of seventh schedule follows in medical devices rules? Requirement of permission to import to or manufacturing. So we can ready the manufacturing in medical devices instrument any. We can import mean some gathering of material and import and export like. So this is the seventh schedule. And next point, investigation medical devices for conducting clinical investigation. So you can proper permission to import of manufacturing it follows as also medical devices for conducting in clinical investigation. Okay, clinical investigation. So this is the seventh schedule. Okay, it is a very helpful in medical rules and okay, it is a very helpful in medical devices and rules and 2017. It is so why, so suppose why seventh schedule follows in why conducting in clinical investigation in medical devices. It is there simply you can essential of medical devices demonstrate their safety and effectiveness and intent performance in humans, so ensuring and patient of user protection and providing reliable scientific evidence for regulatory approval and ultimately translating the innovative technologies into safe and beneficial healthcare practices. Suppose you can use the, if you have any instrument, what you I mean what you investigation that's equipment, what observe the equipment properly working or safety or effectiveness and intent performance are in humans, ensuring and patient user protection. So medical devices you can, if you have any medical devices and instrument, mostly what observe quality and safety and effectiveness and intent performance, ensuring patient protection. So it is a mainly observed in medical device. Okay, so this is the conducting a medical device main in clinical investigation. Why conducting clinical investigation in medical devices? Proper checking is follows in a seventh schedule. Okay, this is called as the seventh schedule functions in medical devices rules in 2017. Okay, clear. Last final eighth schedule. Okay, eighth schedule, it is a mainly important of custom made device accepted from provision important manufacturing and medicated dressing and bandages, mechanical contraceptives and are accepted from provision of sale device and intent for charity accepted from import license. Okay, so this is a helpful of, it's a simply medical devices rules in 2017 follows an outline exception from specific provisions of the rules and create an of the medical devices and including customs and made devices and medicated dressing and creating mechanical contraceptives. It's a schedule R follows in jurisprudence law. Okay, so and imported devices and charitable purposes, and the it's a mainly eighth schedule follows in provides regulatory relief for specific medical devices to facilitate their distribution. What purpose? Eighth schedule provides regulatory relief for specific medical devices to facilitate their distribution, provided the meet the conditions specified in eighth schedule. Okay, so you can simply eighth schedule purposes only for simple you can regulatory exception and facilitating access. Okay, custom made devices, medicated dressings, and device supplied by the medical practitioner and a government supported facility and mechanical contraceptives. Okay, so next imported donated devices, and it is a examples for device covered in the eighth schedule. Okay, eighth schedule covers in devices and covered by the eighth schedules custom made devices. And what is the helpful of custom made devices? Custom made devices, these devices are except for all provisions of the rules, and although additional details and regulatory requirements may be applied. Okay, this is the custom made devices. Okay, so you can easily so mechanical contraceptives, what helpful seventh schedule follows in, I mean eighth schedule, what functioning in mechanical contraceptives. This is our expect from sales license requirements if a solid within their shelf life and either to product label claims. Okay, oh next one, government supported of the facilities, devices supplied by government maintained or supported in hospitals and the dispensaries also subject to the exception. Okay, next one, device supplied for medical practitioner. Okay, device supplied by the medical practitioner, it is also as device applied directly to individual patients by the registered medical practitioner for except from creating rules of follows in device supplied by medical practitioner. Okay, so this is the eighth schedule. Okay, so totally how many schedules follows in medical devices? Totally 8 schedules. Okay, schedule 1 and schedule 2, schedule 3, fourth schedule or fifth schedule or sixth schedule, seventh schedule and eighth schedule. Okay, so you can, it's a very important, this is the very important topic in upcoming medical devices drug inspectors examination. It's a very helpful, already before class discussed two chapters, so this session discussed two schedules. Next class discussion in forms and rules. Okay, so it's a very important topic. Okay, and please like, share, subscribe in Cuboid Forms Study Circle. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.